The fluorescent hum of the conference room felt deafening, though no one else seemed to notice. Kira Jennings sat perfectly composed, hands folded over her lap, her posture the very definition of calm. Across from her, Marjorie Thompson spoke slowly, almost ceremoniously. "Kira, after 15 years at TechVantage, we're restructuring your position." Beside Marjorie, Denise from HR offered a mechanical nod, as if the world itself had been reduced to a checklist. Kira's lips curled into the faintest smile. 15 years of her life, late nights, algorithms, breakthroughs, condensed into a manila folder, severance, health coverage, career counseling she would never use. "I completely understand," Kira said. Her voice was steady, unwavering. No tears, no anger. Just composure. Relief flitted across Marjorie's face. They had expected drama, protests, or collapse. But this was not the Kira they knew. What they didn't realize, Kira had anticipated this. A misdirected email last month had tipped her off. They intended to push her out quietly, take credit for her work, and move on. But Kira had been planning for weeks, quietly, meticulously. Her 6-member team of brilliant engineers had no idea what was coming. They had built the distributed processing algorithm powering TechVantage's flagship product. The company's pride. Its crown jewel. And soon, Kira would reclaim it. She walked past the glass-walled conference room where Victor Lawson gestured at a PowerPoint. He had presented her algorithm as the team's work without acknowledgement. Kira's smile was faint but sharp. She had the leverage and she had the patience. Pulling out her phone, she typed a single text. "It's happening. Friday is my last day." Moments later, perfect timing. "Contracts ready. Dinner tonight to finalize details." Wednesday. 3 days until TechVantage would realize the cost of underestimating her. That evening, Kira met Gregory Sullivan at Meridian, an upscale, discreet restaurant. A folder slid across the table. "They actually did it," Gregory said, shaking his head. "They cut the person who created their core technology." Kira sipped her water. Victor saw the interface, the marketing potential. "But the architecture? That's my secret. And it's about to become my leverage." 3 months prior, Kira had discovered TechVantage had never filed the patent for her algorithm. A mistake? She suspected deception. So she had filed her own patent using personal equipment and time, meticulously documenting each step. The algorithm refinements increased efficiency by 43%. And now, with Precision Systems ready to recognize her as Chief Innovation Officer, the stage was set. For the first time in her career, Kira wasn't just recognized, she was untouchable. Precision Systems' private dining room smelled of polished wood and subtle citrus. Gregory leaned back, confident. "Contracts are ready. Sign, and you and your team are protected. Precision Systems acquires exclusive rights, and you step in as Chief Innovation Officer." Kira nodded, eyes calm. Her team was secure, all 6 engineers, senior roles, significant raises. For years, TechVantage had treated them as replaceable. Now, she ensured their value was protected. Thursday and Friday passed in a blur of exit interviews and transition notes. Kira maintained her poise, documenting passwords, processes, and project details. Every action a shield, every note a safeguard. Marjorie and Denise moved mechanically through their scripts. NDAs, severance acknowledgement, intellectual property disclaimers. Kira answered carefully, emphasizing nuances, company time, personal development, resources, all strictly true, yet strategically framed. When Marjorie lingered at her office door, feigning casual concern, Kira's smile was quiet, controlled. "Crystal clear," she said, placing the award for her algorithm carefully into her box. The irony wasn't lost. She paused outside the glass headquarters, inhaling the crisp evening air. Inside, executives plotted her absence, unaware of the storm brewing. By Monday, they would understand exactly what had been lost. Kira spent the weekend preparing mentally. Her algorithm refinements were finalized, patent documentation pristine, press release coordinated. She visualized every reaction, every move from Victor and Marjorie. Monday dawned. Kira arrived at Precision Systems headquarters in a charcoal power suit, precise and purposeful. The press release went live at 7 a.m. Precision Systems acquires exclusive rights to revolutionary distributed processing algorithm. Dr. Kira Jennings, inventor, joins as Chief Innovation Officer. Within minutes, Miguel, her lead developer from TechVantage, texted updates of chaos at her former office. Victor Lawson had realized, too late, the product's dependency on her algorithm. Her team transitioned seamlessly, their loyalty and talent intact. Investors, competitors, and industry analysts scrambled to understand the implications. Kira's patience and foresight had positioned her for maximum leverage. This wasn't revenge. It was recognition. Finally, her name was inseparable from her creation, and she moved into her new role with confidence, ready to reshape the industry. By mid-morning, the industry buzzed. Licensing inquiries poured in. Precision Systems stock rose while TechVantage's plummeted. Boardrooms whispered her name. Kira's team thrived. Efficiency improvements exceeded projections by 51%. Algorithms once stifled under bureaucratic oversight now flourished under her guidance. Meanwhile, at TechVantage, panic unfolded. Victor Lawson paced, red-faced. Emails from legal and finance departments demanded explanations. Marjorie and the remaining executives scrambled. Meetings, analyses, and server audits could not prevent the inevitable realization. Kira had become indispensable and unreachable. Kira observed quietly, savoring the satisfaction that came from foresight and preparation. Every move she had made had been deliberate. Every consequence anticipated. Her victory was not just personal. It was systemic. By protecting her team, ensuring proper recognition, and asserting ownership over her intellectual property, she reshaped the balance of power in a company that had undervalued her contributions for years. That afternoon, Precision Systems' legal team confirmed TechVantage's inquiries. Kira remained calm. She had anticipated every argument, every negotiation tactic. Her patent, her documentation, her strategy, all airtight. She smiled quietly. Recognition. Respect. Validation. She had worked in the shadows long enough. Now, she would lead in the light. The following days saw TechVantage unravel. Stock declines accelerated. Major clients questioned their ability to maintain the flagship product. Internal meetings turned frantic. Victor's ego collided with reality. Kira's team, energized and loyal, began rolling out next-generation algorithmic improvements. Precision Systems surged ahead in the market. Every licensing inquiry, every public mention of her patent, strengthened her position. TechVantage's leadership scrambled, but the momentum had shifted irreversibly. Kira, however, remained grounded. Her objective was not corporate annihilation, but systemic recognition of her value and the protection of innovation. As she led a development meeting, ideas flowed freely. Engineers spoke confidently. Executives listened. The culture of undervaluation, present at TechVantage, had been replaced with respect, collaboration, and vision. By week's end, Victor and Marjorie were displaced. The industry watched, fascinated, as TechVantage attempted to negotiate licensing under increasingly unfavorable terms. Kira's strategy unfolded flawlessly, each move demonstrating the importance of proper recognition for innovators. The announcement went public. Precision Systems officially acquired the rights to Kira's algorithm, and she was recognized as the sole inventor. TechVantage faced a choice: pay exorbitant licensing fees or rebuild core systems from scratch. The impact was immediate. Market shares shifted. Media outlets speculated. Investors panicked. Internally, Kira's former team at TechVantage watched from their new offices at Precision Systems, vindicated and empowered. Kira led a strategy session detailing new applications and enhancements. Each improvement underscored her foresight and expertise. The company thrived under her leadership, while TechVantage scrambled to survive. Her triumph was complete, not just over corporate mismanagement, but as an exemplar for innovation ownership and integrity. Months later, Kira stood on stage at the National Technology Innovation Conference, delivering the keynote address. She spoke of innovation, intellectual property, and recognition. Young engineers, especially women, hung on her every word. TechVantage, meanwhile, had adopted new policies on inventor recognition, a tacit acknowledgement of her impact. In her office at Precision Systems, Kira reflected quietly. Success had come not from anger or revenge, but from preparation, foresight, and a relentless commitment to protecting value, her own and that of those around her. She raised a glass with Gregory Sullivan. Quiet satisfaction settled in. Recognition, respect, ownership. Her name would forever be attached to the algorithm that changed an industry exactly where it belonged.